Do you know Ferment? They offer great equipment if you want to ferment your own foods. They offer the starter kit fermentation, and it comes with beautiful glass jars, and you also have the perfect fitting lids and a wooden stick, and also it comes with a pump where you can pump out the oxygen in the glass, so the sauerkraut will be really perfect as a result. And I tried to make sauerkraut or other fermented veggies in the past, and I always failed because I hadn't the right equipment. It was so difficult. And this starter kit comes with heavy glass lids, so you can really, they are like the weight and you can put it on top. It really prevents it from oxidization. That's great. And yes, that's the equipment. And I show you some recipes right now. So the first recipe will be red cabbage, and I make red sauerkraut today. So I already prepared my sauerkraut. I cut it into really, really thin slices. And then I massaged it until the water came out. And I also added a little bit of salt because they recommend it, but I think this is optional and really not necessary. Next time I will make it without salt. And then you use the wooden stick, and you really have to press it down so that all the oxygen comes out, and it should be really stable mass in your glass jar. And it's really important that the juice is coming out of the kale, so that all the kale is covered with juice, and this prevents it from going bad. So easy. And for my second recipe today, I use Chinese kale, celery, and chili. And the same, I just put it down and really press it really hard into the jar. This is really, really important. And then you just go with the flow, add more kraut, and then you press it down again. It's really like meditation. I really enjoyed the whole process. Preparing all my sauerkraut and kimchi, or just fermented foods is really nice to make. I had a lot of fun. So this is the second recipe, and you can see the juice is coming out if you press it down really, really with force. And this is what we want. There we go, the juice is on top. That's perfect. And because I only had 2 professional glass jars with a weight, I use cabbage leaves for this one to put on top. And this works just as fine. So if you don't have the equipment, or if you don't want to purchase your ferment starter kit, which I highly recommend because it's really a game changer, then you can make it the old way and use some cabbage leaves instead. Lid on top, ready to go. Beautiful. And finally, for my last recipe, I want to ferment some pumpkin. So I also used some spices. I put into the jar some cloves and pepper. And now I'm going to add my pumpkin on top. And for this recipe, we also need salt water to start the fermentation process. Because obviously the pumpkin is not able to produce his own juice, I mean, I could have used celery juice instead, but yes, this time I used salt water. You will see here is my salt water, just put it on top. This fermentation is even easier than the first one because you don't have to massage the kale or your veggies. You just put it in a jar, and of course it's easier than the first one. And then again, the glass weight on top to prevent oxidization, and then the lid finally. Yes, that's it. 3 fermented food recipes made from scratch and really, really easy to prepare.